When I was a kid, I didn't like to eat salads, as shocking as that may be. In the 90s, Hidden Valley introduced a line of ranch dressing flavors aimed at picky kids like myself. There was a pizza flavor, nacho cheese, and a couple of others. So one day, I finally decided to give in to my parents' wishes and eat a salad, with the pizza dressing, and it was disgusting. I mean, these flavors didn't really stick around for very long, so I couldn't have been the only kid that thought so. Why am I talking about ranch dressing? Well, today's video is about a sports game, but not just any sports game. You see, I've never been very good at sports. And when it comes to sports video games, you usually won't catch me going anywhere near them. However, in August, Nintendo debuted a trailer for a new golf RPG coming exclusively to the Switch. And when I saw that trailer, I just knew I had to give it a try. Here we are, and now Golf Story's been available for a couple of weeks, and I can say with confidence that this is the pizza ranch dressing needed to make this sports game fun for me. And unlike the actual Pizza Ranch, I am not disappointed. In 1999, Nintendo released Mario Golf for the Game Boy Color, followed by Mario Tennis the year after. Unlike their N64 counterparts, these Game Boy games were actually top-down RPGs, where players would take on the role of an original character, walk around talking to NPCs, and advance through the story by competing in the game's respective sport. Golf Story, developed and published by Sidebar Games, is very heavily inspired by this Mario Golf game, but with a new and original cast. As the game begins, you're a young child on the course training with your dear old dad, and as it turns out, you're surprisingly good at golf for your age. This is where you learn the basic mechanics of golfing in the game. Much like the Mario Golf series, you aim your shot and can fine-tune the angle from which you hit the ball, finally using a meter to input the amount of power you put into your shot. As you play through the tutorial, you'll repeatedly run into a tubby young fellow named Lucky, who keeps stealing food from the food truck driving around the course. Fast forward 20 years later, and you're all grown up, recently moved out on your own. A woman whose relation to you is unknown at this time rudely asks you to pick up the rest of your things. As you tell her you've picked up golfing again, she laughs mockingly. And it's here where we get more of a taste of what the dialogue is like in the game. There is no voice acting in Golf Story, but the way the dialogue is presented, from the changes in font size to the text animation to even the animation of the text bubble, the text is presented in a way that actually enhances the comedic delivery of what you're reading on screen. Not only that, but the text actually takes advantage of the Switch's HD rumble and actually vibrates in the controller different ways to match with the tone of the dialogue. You really have to feel it for yourself, but I've never seen it before and I think it's a really nice touch. The game does have an enjoyable cast of characters, like the golf coach. What was his name again? Oh yeah, Coach. There's also Laura, the lazy and jealous golf student with attitude who becomes something of a rival. There's also, Markiplier? Me. You'll unlock various golf courses as you progress through the story, but it all starts at Well-Worn Grove, the same course you play at in the beginning of the game. It's been 20 years now and things aren't quite how they used to be. The course is now in a state of disrepair and has lost a lot of its reputation thanks to the new owner, Lucky, the food thief from earlier. As you explore the various courses, there are different ways you can interact with the world aside from talking to NPCs. You can actually press the Y button to tee off wherever you are. This doesn't actually count towards playing a full game of golf, but you can actually collect bonuses and complete small side objectives this way. Unless you miss. Sometimes I miss a lot. You can also throw golf balls for some reason. It doesn't really seem to have much of a purpose other than some optional quests or just being immature and throwing the balls at everyone. As an aspiring pro golfer, your aim is to train and improve your technique. Fortunately for you, after arriving at Well-Worn Grove, you stumble upon a golf class in session. This is where you meet Coach and ask if he can take a look at your swing. Unfortunately, Coach won't help you, and the lessons cost money, of which you currently have none. This is where the more RPG elements come into play. To buy new clubs and gear and sometimes advance the plot, you need money. You earn money by, of course, playing golf. But you can also take on various side quests found by talking to NPCs with text bubbles above their heads. Most of the quests involve golf in some way, whether it's taking on more traditional golf challenges like hitting the ball to a certain marked area, or something a bit less conventional like hitting beach balls to a giant clawed crab to appease a beach ball hating groundskeeper at the beach. There's even a quest where all you have to do is hit your ball at a guy's face as hard as you can, and it's just the best. There's a bunch of other fun activities like digging for buried treasure, mini golf, aqua golf, and even frisbee. Oh, sorry, disc golf.
Golf! Frisbee golf, Jerry! Golf with a frisbee!
While the mini golf is fun and really makes you think about your putting, disc golf provides an entirely new and different experience, where you can actually take on a variety of new challenges and really work on controlling the disc mid-air. As you continue playing, you'll also gain experience points. Each time you gain enough experience points to level up, you gain 5 points to assign to 5 different stats. The leveling system actually has a unique balancing mechanic to it. As you put more points into your power, you'll actually lose some points in some of the other stats. So you have to be careful to invest points evenly without overpowering yourself and sacrificing things like your control and accuracy. I really have been loving the game so far, but it's not perfect. While challenges are fun and I don't entirely mind that some of them have instant fails, it would be nice to have a simple retry option. Instead, you have to talk to the NPC and go through the same dialogue. The quests don't usually have a lot of dialogue to skip through, but I sometimes found myself failing repeatedly and having to try again over and over, to the point where having to skip through the same dialogue was annoying. A small complaint, but it is something that could be improved. Also, I did run into a couple glitches, which were mostly kind of funny. But there was a time where I threw a disc into some trees and it got stuck, infinitely looping the sound of the disc flying. This was mostly annoying because I couldn't retry or end the quest. The only thing I could do was close the game and relaunch it from the Switch home screen. This wouldn't have been so bad, but the 2 quests I had just completed before were not completed when I loaded the game, and I had to do them again because, well, the game doesn't use manual saves. At least, not that I could find. Checking online, I found that the game auto-saves when doing things like unlocking new areas, progressing the story, and beating quests. But I had just beaten 2 quests, so I don't really get it. All that being said, Golf Story is a wonder to play. And as I said, I don't like sports games, but this game is totally worth it. In fact, if maybe Sidebar Games could give us Tennis Story someday in the future, that'd be pretty cool. Despite a few flaws, Golf Story is really one of the best games available on the Switch right now, and for $15, you really cannot go wrong. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. And if you want to see more, feel free to check out one of these other videos you see here on the screen, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button. You can also follow me by looking up The Portly Gamer on the social networks below.